Lee Seo digs up the soil in his vegetable garden in the hot sun. A neighbor approaches him and complains that he's working too hard, to which Lee Seo says he's just being jealous because his land is just standing there. The neighbor gets angry, especially after Lee Seo says he'd like to have a beer with him, but now he'll think about it. The neighbor runs off, and Lee Seo crafts himself a mug of beer on the display before him, remembering how he ended up in such a life. For 2, the year is 2027. Lee Seo has been invited to participate in a future project as a first-wave tattoo artist. With the support of the government and a global company introducing new virtual reality technology, the VR game Another World was created. The game immerses the player in a created world and allows for an ineffable experience through brain features. There were 2,000 of them. A life of battles began. That wolf to defeat a werewolf. Orc to defeat an orc, losing his comrades. And so for 20 years, Hero began to get tired of the constant battles, but continued to fight with the remnants of arriving testers. Because they had no other option, the game did not release. One of the enemies, the Vampire Lord, was not given for many years. No matter how much the hero fought with mobs, did not perform the tasks of the inhabitants and did not increase his level. Returning to him once more, he and his comrades again failed to defeat him. And Lee Seo lost his last battle friend. They used to argue that the only way to get out of the game was to die. And one day, left alone, the hero decided to try one last time. Once again he found himself in the dark mansions of the Vampire Lord, but now all alone. Once again he was thrown back time after time, blow after blow. Suddenly the faithful sword flew out of his hands, and the Vampire Lord's hand was already raised for the final blow, as an information sign appeared in the air. Dear players, welcome to the new world. We have many new events for you, so please make sure to fully enjoy life in the new world. Both Lee Seo and the Vampire Lord stare at her in shock, but while Lee Seo froze in surprise, the Vampire Lord came to his senses faster and struck the hero with a crushing claw blow to the neck, severing an artery. Severe pain, darkness, and then the light of the hospital room. Lee Seo finally wakes up in the real world, where a full 5 years have passed. He struggles to get up on his bed and pulls off his VR helmet. Just then his awakening is noticed by a nurse who enters. She hastily calls for a doctor. That he is alive after all. His parents quickly arrive in the room. Joyful smiles, mother's cries and tears. The long-awaited family reunion. The rehabilitation period begins. Gradually the hero learns about what happened from the internet. Many players failed to wake up and fell into a coma. The VR game has affected the entire brain and many have been overloaded, causing some to become walking vegetables. The hero works hard to regain full control of his body after so many years in the hospital. Gym, exercise, running and just walking. And returning from another session, having made significant progress, he runs into the hallway with a crowd of reporters that have surrounded his father. Everyone is asking whether his family will sue the company after what happened to his son. Lee Seo's father says yes, they should be punished for ruining their lives, including paying for Lee Seo's medical treatment for those 5 years, and compensating the family for the damages. They've been having a hard time with the whole thing, the moving, the hospital, the debts. The hero begins to realize that the problems aren't over, and in confirmation of that, he receives a phone call from an unknown person who says the debt is due and if it isn't, he will wish he hadn't died. A month later, Lee Seo is already home. But it's hard on my heart to see all the items sealed off by the collectors. He has to lie that he's not hungry and enjoy custard noodles for dinner. His parents work hard to cope with it all, trying to cheer him up, to which Lee Seo apologizes for dragging them into this. His mom hugs him and tells him that they'll get through it all together. He sits in his room and ponders the desperate situation and tries to figure out what he can do to handle the money and how he can pay off his debts. Lee Seo's old friend Min-soo sends him a text message. He asks Min-soo to meet him at a cafe to celebrate his recovery. They are celebrating his recovery over a mug of beer when a trailer of the game, which took 5 years off Lee Seo's life, is shown on the screen. The voiceover tells them that the game now has a trading system and any player can get rich. Lee Seo gets the idea and immediately asks a friend for an account in the game. He hesitates, recalling what happened to him last time. But Lee Seo's situation is desperate. He can't do anything else, and he has lived in the game for 20 years and knows a lot. He tells Min-soo of his financial difficulties and he gives up, taking his room to the entrance where the modules for the VR game are. They both get into the pods, and Min-soo promises to help him and give him his login information so that Lee Seo can be added as a friend. But then the game alerts him that Lee Seo already has an account. He is surprised to find that it is the same account he spent 20 years on. The game gives him the choice to either load it or create a new one from scratch. Without thinking twice and overcoming his fears, Lee Seo downloads his previous account and finds himself in a densely populated city. Enjoying the better graphics, Lee Seo immediately checks his characteristics and finds out that his past ones are intact and he has the highest level. He is a master in all aspects and can fight with any weapon. But to improve the skill, he has to come up with his own special skill, improvement through overcoming heights. Li Xiu is contacted by his friend and offers to meet, to which Li Xiu says he wants to look around. He uses his physical skills and climbs up a tower that resembles Big Ben. As he climbs the tower, Solzhenko says that there is no maximum level in the game and that in order to get the initial level, he should kill rabbits, to which Li Xiu says no at the beginning of the ascent to the very top. He also learns that he can only spend 12 hours in the game. After looking around, Li Xiu goes down and walks around the neighborhood and comes upon an old man, whom he mistakes for a tutor with a mandate to kill a wolf. He does not think twice and takes the quest for the novice level, but decides to follow his friend's advice and kill rabbits to raise the level. But when he kills the first one, it turns out that until he completes the old man's quest, he won't be able to level up at the expense of rabbit. He returns to the town in indignation and asks for a character. He shows him the small print in the quest, which says that the hero who took the quest can't take another unless he completes it and can't undo it either. Li Xiu angrily calls it a bug and starts trying to get points for killing rabbits again. He is strewn across the clearing with their bodies when he hears a warning from other players passing by that he is a fool. And the secret boss, the champion hare, is about to appear. Just as they say this, a huge pink anthropomorphic hare bursts out of the ground. Having freed itself from the captivity of the earth, it immediately attacks Li Xiu and throws him off. The second blow makes the hero shorten and smash his fist, but the latter is neither hurt nor cold, so the hare champion immediately smashes the hero in flight, knocking him into a tree. Then the cries of the players come again, saying that he can't kill this elite mob with a simple attack, so he must run away. But the hero does not have time to run. A huge paw of the champion bunny already in front of his face, and, it would seem, the darkness of death. But no, he wakes up and sees in front of him those players that poured water on him. The hare isn't around. They saved him at the last moment by using acceleration. When asked why, one of the players says that the hero looks like his brother. That's why he saved him. When asked about his brother, the character says that he's out, but not of the game, but of life. An understanding silence descends on the clearing. Li Xiu was recently almost dead himself. This event clears his mind a little, and he plays by the rules. He goes to kill wolves on a mission. After walking through the cave pointed out by the players, he immediately runs into a large black wolf, which, upon seeing him, swiftly rushes at the lone prey. Li Xiu now doubts whether he can overpower a 10th level foe when he is the first, but the previous experience hasn't disappeared. As he goes down, Li Xiu first strikes the wolf in the neck, ripping its belly open, and then finishes it in the head, killing the enemy and earning his reward. His level is hanged, and 3 more black wolves enter the clearing. Li Xiu bounces back and throws his dagger directly at the head of one of the creatures in flight. The beasts think he is now open to attack, but no. Li Xiu leaps once more and ends up next to the defeated wolf and pulls out the bloody dagger. A blow and another black furry head is pierced by the weapon. The last one also gets hit in the fly between the eyes. The level is raised again, the reward is credited, but then a whole pack comes out. The game adjusts to the player. When Li Xiu returns to the old man in town, he looks at the scoreboard in shock, which says that the hero killed 117 wolves. Dealing with the surprise, the old man gives him the due 77 coins and immediately offers a hidden quest in which he has been asked by the captain of the city guard to bring a strong man. Li Xiu takes this quest as well, but then he receives a notification that the game time is expiring, and a friend offers to extend it, to which the hero agrees. He immediately goes in search of the captain of the guards, Firen, at the knight's bar. He is sitting there drinking an incomprehensible green liquid. When Li Xiu inquires about the building, Firen shows him his injured leg and tells him the story of his defeat against the Thorol. He was standing on a pole and asked to have the bones of a white tiger for himself. The reward is not much, but Li Xiu feels that this mission will bring him other benefits and he agrees. But he soon learns about the subterfuge of the mission as well. White tigers live in many places, but it's hard to lure them. You need a special solution, which is just as hard to get. When asked by his friend, he tells him that such tasks are often missed by everyone, to which the captain of the guards laughs in the background. Li Xiu sighs, but his path hasn't been easy before. He asks the innkeeper where he can get that Sivet-sent solution. The old man, scrubbing the goblets, replies that there is nowhere, and that religion forbids the locals to use perfume. Li Xiu nearly bangs his head on the table, realizing what a swamp he has led himself into. Seeing his condition, the innkeeper advises him to get a new account as he has seen many heroes try and give up. This greatly surprises the hero. He does not understand what is wrong with the nips in the game. Usually they just help the hero, give him errands, tips, and items. With some you can build a friendly relationship as the Khan has done in the past. But not once has a nip ever offered the player to surrender. The hero understands that this is a special challenge for a reason. Li Xiu orders the same drink that Captain Firen drinks from the innkeeper. The drink is called goblin piss but tastes better than it looks and smells. Li Xiu sits down with the captain again and tells him that he has the scent of Sivet's solution. He gives off this smell, and the drink drowns it out from the others, so his relationship with this character improves. And Captain Fearon, noticing that Liso is different from the other players, gives him the vial, seeing Liso off with a look of hope. There are 3 people fighting in a clearing in the woods, a white-haired young man, a girl, and a black wolf. The white-haired warrior blocks the girl with himself and wants to attack the creature with his rare sword, but the wolf turns pale in the face and runs away, tail tucked. As the warrior attributes the beast's reaction to himself, Liso appears. He opens the vial of solution and tosses it into the clearing. The white tiger does not wait long. A fight ensues. Liso pulls out a friend's gifted sword and attacks, but the tiger shortens and manages to wound the hero in the turn. A couple more blows with the blade and Liso realizes that the enemy is not simple, definitely stronger than the wolf. The hero decides to change tactics and arms himself with a bow. A shot is fired. Just when Liso thinks the tiger has been defeated, he shows an arrow in his teeth. Shocked by his opponent's abilities, Liso begins to increase the distance again, but the arrows are not enough and he has to swing his bow at the tiger. But then the warriors who were watching the fight intervene. Or rather, the white-haired warrior, who wants to become famous by killing the beast and impress his companion, enters the fight. All he needs is one precise blow to the chest and the beast is defeated. Liso is indignant as the fool with the sword ruins his mission and he continues to shout about his victory and say whose last blow is his carcass. But then the beast's carcass begins to glow red, and then black smoke covers the clearing. Liso realizes the fight is not over and tells this to the warrior who wanted to take away his prey. The white tiger reappears in its wild and furious glory, but this time his eyes glow scarlet, signaling the seriousness of his intentions to take their lives. The white-haired warrior panics and begins to run. The tiger is quick as lightning and is already in front of him. A blow and the warrior is dead, his body disappearing, telling him to leave the game. But this suddenly raises the tiger's level, giving him 30% to his evasion skill and the skill of quick claws. Not only did the unknown man want to take away his prey and Liso, but he also made his task more difficult. But then the warrior girl who was with the fallen warrior, who had been forgotten by everyone, screamed. The tiger lunged at her, but Liso was not far behind. Emerging right in front of the beast's muzzle, he deflected its blow and shielded the girl. He shouted for her to run, and she didn't argue. So Liso was left alone with the tiger. Fatigue began to come over him. The usual sword attacks didn't help. He thought of a new tactic, otherwise he would not survive. The tiger came very close to him. Liso's sword clutched in its mouth. The only thing left in his inventory was the rookie dagger that the old man had given him after his mission with the wolves. He rushed to use it, and just in time. The tiger was about to bite through his sword when the dagger plunged into his heart. The tiger was defeated, and Liso got his prize. The fleeing girl didn't run away for long and has already returned to find out the name of the warrior she liked. But he can't reveal it to her because then those who spy on him might find out that he's playing again and then trouble will come. He is called the Ghost of War and leaves, happy with the 20th level and completed the task.